Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and this is a yarn chat video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my latest project. I have kind of switched gears. For a while, I've been working on the Lion Brand Shaded Color Shawl, which I have linked quite a few times. It's a free pattern from Lion Brand website. I made a bunch of it with the Ombre Life, but then I decided to I'm trying to remember what it was called now. Hobby Lobby Yarn Bee had a variegated cotton similar to that of the Ombre Life, and I've been working on that, and it seems as though I work full-time now as a teacher. I kind of have gotten bored of that shawl. Yeah, so before I would make a project and I'd be done in a few days because I could make it as fast as I wanted and I didn't have a job. And now that I'm working, I don't have as much crochet time and I've kind of gotten bored of that shawl. So I've tucked it aside in a whip bag and I'll still pull it out because I'm going to give it to someone for Christmas. But when I realized or heard from a co-teacher that I needed to give Christmas presents to my class, I switched gears. Initially I was gonna make them a Christmas ornament. I don't know if y'all have seen those cute little stocking cap ornaments where you take yarn and you wrap it around a piece of toilet paper roll that you've cut into little rings, and then you make a cute little ornament. And then I said, you know what? Forget that. Just make them a hat. So I came downstairs to take a look at what I had in regards to yarn. I wanted to make something quick. Even though I'm not in a public school, I'm at a private. I have 15 kids in my class, so I thought, let me quick make 15 hats. Let's see how quick I can go at that. So I came down here, and the first thing I saw was my Charisma yarn. Now, one of my yarn friends in Canada mailed me my first ever bunch of Charisma. And that was about a year ago, and I've been hoarding it away, waiting for something delightful. And then last spring, I went to a Michael's sale, the first time ever, and hoarded up a bunch of yarn. I also have a video of purchasing this. And I believe at the time the Charisma was $2 a skein, which I said in my yarn review. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to start using this to make hats. So I found this really easy tutorial, which I will link in the description, but it's basically, it's the simplest pattern. Basically, you're crocheting a rectangle. You are doing a chain of 27, and then you go into the third loop from the hook and half double crochet in the back loops. And you just, I wonder if I have a partial somewhere going on over here. Here we go. I do. You just make yourself one of these. You see how it's looks ribbed? Because you're going in the back loops only. And you make this for 27 rows. And this is Charisma also. And this is in the colorway Black Raspberry. Then once you've made your 27 rows, you fold it in half and you slip stitch all the way along the sides and you make it into your cone, like this. Fold in half. Let's see, here's my slip stitch side. And that's what it looks like. Then you come along to the other side. So you got to have one part to put on your head, right? And then the other side you weave in and you cinch it and you pull it through. Now, I have been putting these little pom-poms on top. And I could link another video. The video where I review the Yarnology pom-pom makers. This is the biggest one I got. And I just thought they looked dumb. I just was not impressed with that little pom-pom. But I've been making a bunch of these hats. Then I decided to just go through some of the other yarns. So I thought I would show you the hats I've been making, the different colorways. My daughter's hair is on that. And some of the different yarns I've been using. And then, yeah, so that's really all I've been doing. So this is Sunday. I don't remember, November 7th or 8th, maybe the 9th, maybe the 10th. Ooh, it's the weekend. It's the weekend after parent-teacher conference. So school was a short week, and then I had teacher conferences half day Thursday, all day Friday, and which wasn't bad because, like I've said, I only have 15 kids, so I was able to get a lot of work done for the weekend, and actually, I have the full weekend off now, whereas normally I go into the work in the morning. So I came downstairs like, oh, what should I crochet? I don't want to really work on that shawl. And I was like, I'm going to make those hats. Okay, so that's what I did. So I came down here and I found I have a bunch of this charisma. And so I am making one right now, like I showed you. This is the one. I have one finished. I would model it, but these are for a kid's size. These fit Flynn, and now thanks to YouTube's new rules, I can't have Flynn come down here and wear them for you. So I have that one out of Charisma. I have this one. This one was called Grays or something, although it does have a lot of brown in it. So this is a boy's hat. And then you just fold them up. They look like this, friends. You know, like this on the kid's head. Aren't they cute? And this is exactly like the ornament I was going to make when I decided why not just make them hats. So yesterday I made those two and this one. And this is the one that I think it says it's Northern Lights. This is also out of Charisma. Aren't they adorable? This pom-pom's crooked. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So I have that hat. Then I made this one out of some mystery yarn from Madonna Ballard. She and I did a yarn swap where we gave each other blue yarn. And she gave me a bunch of these skeins of yarn. I want to say where I think they came was a Yarnspiration mix bag. You know, where you can call over to them and they'll mail you like a grab bag of random pound of yarn. So I made a hat out of that. And this is kind of like shades of blue, if you see that. So I made her that. I made that one. And let's see here. Then I decided to break into my favorite yarn. Who was it that mailed me this? Okay, so I started hoarding this yarn. This is Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick Carousel. I love this yarn. And my Walmart was running out because I was hoarding it up. And then one of our dear yarn friends, golly, I can't remember her name now. I feel so horrible. She mailed me a bunch of cowls for the kids, and she's got a cute little puppy. Anyway, she bought up some more of these for me. Isn't that kind? And so now I thought, oh, I'll make a couple hats out of these. So I have this one. This one is stiffer. The Charisma is a bulky 5, and this is a bulky 6. And so this one's a little bit stiffer of a hat. And so I made that one. And then I made this one again out of the Charisma. This one here. You don't have to put pom-poms on them, but remember, I'm going to get to that in a minute. And then I made this out of a Hobby Lobby yarn. I made this littler one. This is a 5, but it is not bulky. I'm doing the exact same measurements, but you can tell that this is a little thinner of a yarn and this hat looks a little smaller. And this is a bigger yarn and this hat looks a little bigger. So I made, this one is a Lion Brand, it's Dream Spun, but it's not Malibu Blue, it's a different colorway. Oh, you know what? Maybe I have another full skein in here. It is. It's Juliet Blush. And I got this on clearance for 99 cents. So this hat is going to be like $1. I mean, I don't know. So, and remember, I'm making these for all my class. In my class, I have 5 boys and 10 girls. I know, those poor girls, when they're in high school, it's going to be very sad. So I'm going to make, when I made the hat out of this one, I had this much left over. These hats are not using a full 100 yards. I am, though, because I noticed this one worked up a little small. Instead of chaining 27, I'm probably going to chain 30 and make this one just a little bit bigger. I'll make 2 of them. And then there's all these remnants left, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Then I made one out of Bernat. Looks awful. I mean, I really loved this colorway when I saw it in the store. I've made a big button cowl out of it from Laurel's pattern, and now I've tried to make a hat with it, and I just hate how this yarn looks. It doesn't look horrible. It's so soft and squishy, but it does not make a hat. So this one's in the frog pile. I'm going to ball it up, put it back on the shelf, and try to figure out what else I'm going to make out of it. I'm making a partial here. And then I also want to make a hat out of this brown. This one is, I love this chunky from Hobby Lobby. Then I thought about using some of this. This I got from Pixie Rose from Australia. This is a bulky from chunky knitting yarn from Creative Corner. So I thought I'd make one of these into a hat. And I'm looking over here at my, what's this called? You know, my Yarn Hoard Part 2 over here. Here's another Hobby Lobby's chunky that I'll make a hat out of. But anyway, yeah, it's just going along pretty nicely. No problem. So yesterday I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hats. So I'm over halfway there. Is that amazing? I'm so excited. I think this is going to be so nice than just making them a little ornament. And then I ordered some pom-poms off of Amazon. I remember that a while ago, well, last winter actually, Karen from Happiness Homemade got a big bundle of pom-poms. And since I wasn't happy with how these pom-poms were going and they were all looking crooked, and to be honest, whenever I've made a pom-pom for my kids, they've end up pulling them apart. And I just tied these in. I think Debbie, the Canadian crocheter, gave me this idea of just tying them in so that you can untie them, wash them, and then hopefully whoever has this hat can put it back together. So luckily I'm going to remove all these hideous little pom-poms I've made. And because Amazon works with wizards, I think, it said that my delivery will be here tomorrow. So I am super excited, you guys. I'm super excited. I'm going to make 17 hats, and I have 18 pom-poms coming in the mail by here tomorrow. I'm halfway done with my hats, and I think it will be a really great Christmas present for the kids. And it's kind of like a win-win because, 1, I get to use up some of my yarn hoard. 2, I get to make a project that's quick and I feel like I'm getting stuff done. And then 3, now the kids at school can't say, I don't have a hat. You sure do. Mrs. B made you one. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. This has really been my yarn chat yesterday. Like I said, because I got all my work done at school in between the conferences, I came home and just crocheted like a mad woman. And into the night, into 12:30, I did have to frog that hat because I was off. It started getting a little crooked. That's what happens when you crochet late at night though, right y'all? It was so nice. It was such a great day. I haven't been able to just sit and crochet all day in so long. So yeah, hopefully next weekend I'll be able to finish up the last of these hats, or at least start getting pom-poms on these during the week. And then that will be my Christmas present to my students. And that's really what this yarn chat is. That's all I have to chat about. Yeah, like I said, I really wish Flynn could be in the video, but YouTube's new kid rules, I can't, because I wanted you guys to see how cute these hats look. And you know what I just remembered while I was starting to make this video? I was trying to think of like, what kind of name could I make for this video? Last year, if you all remember, I was making hats then too, because I said, holy cats, that's a lot of hats. And I'll show you the hat I was making. This was the hat I was making last year. Do you remember that? This was worked, rather than making a rectangle, it was worked in the round, I believe. Yes, because you do like the ribbing on the bottom, and then you do a front post double crochet. Every 2 stitches, you skip 2 and then do 1, you skip 2 and do 1, which gives it that like raised. And then I put one of Debbie's giant floppy pom-poms on here. And this hat, whenever, I would say, is very popular. I leave it on the back. Look how cute it is. I leave it on that back little globe back there that my mom gave me. And everyone's like, where's the pattern for that hat? So this is from Holy Cats. I made a lot of hats. I can link that in the description below, and if I can actually find the tutorial again where I made this. But for this hat, I changed the top. I didn't make it the same way they did because I wanted to put that big fluffy pom-pom on there. Do you see that? So yeah, that is, now crazy hair comes. That is what I've been doing, making hats. So thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for hanging out with me since my videos have gotten so sparse, so few and far between. Do you see that fuzz floating around in here from that hat? Hopefully this summer I'll get some real good video time with you guys because teachers don't work in the summer. Yeah, thanks you all. I miss you, and I've missed catching up on Debbie and Karen and Seta and all those folks, and I got to do a little bit of that yesterday while making hats. So until then, thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. And until then, happy crafting. Bye.